We think there are opportunities in the regions, but it's a question of I would say education of the investors. And as you mentioned, global investors start with London, and then when they go to the continent, they go to Paris or Frankfurt or Munich. But now if they come to Paris, if we want them to go to Lyon or Marseille, that's another hard work of education to bring them there. That's one question. And the second thing is, in the case of France, the markets, those local markets, are much smaller, and the liquidity of the investments is not as high as it can be in the Paris region, with a few exceptions like probably Lyon. So for example, when we discuss with our German clients, they are theoretically willing to invest also in Lyon besides Paris. Marseille and Lille or Bordeaux is more a tricky game for them, because they need more time to get acquainted with those cities.
Of course, there are a lot of international investors and many Anglo-Saxon investors who like portfolios that are not just Greater Paris portfolios. But you have to bear in mind that the lot sizes are very small. So for one of the sovereign funds or a big life insurance company trying to invest in France and in Paris, the lot sizes are probably not efficient for those ones who want one trophy asset in London, one trophy asset in France, one trophy asset in Germany, and things like that. That's not going to happen. But I think there are a lot of asset management opportunities around the country, and there are a lot of very good locations where in the cities that Silvio just mentioned you have prime areas as well. It's just a question of lot size and sometimes of efficiency for international investors, the distance. It's much easier to manage, for example, buildings for them which are located in Paris than manage buildings which are like 2 hours by train or by plane away from Paris, still where they are. So that sometimes hinders a little bit the internationals to go to the regions. But it's a very interesting market still. And I think a lot of international investors, we saw Rinda when we were in London, they have been quite successful in sourcing product which was suitable for them in the regions. So yes, I think it depends on what you're looking for, but you always can find product, yeah.
Being a French company, we know the regions quite well. We have some exposure to the regions, usually more for French, retail funds like OPCI, because that's the type of asset that the SCPI, OPCI like to buy, usually 20, 30 million lot, not too large, because as we say, liquidity in the region is a question mark sometimes. We saw some German funds being more active in the regions in France. I think they are less now, but they used to be quite active in France, and not only in Marseille. We saw some transaction in Dijon, in Nantes, in other cities. It's probably less the case today, but it used to be quite active. In terms of value add, we strongly believe that there are a lot of opportunities. There will be, and there's still some opportunities in France in terms of value add angles. And one of the main reasons is, as I say, the letting market is challenging. So buying a vacant building today or a close to be vacant building is obviously a challenge to make sure that you will find the right tenant to fill in the building, sometimes to convert it from a single use to a multi-use. So it's a lot of work, and there are some opportunities on the market. Sometimes the question is the pricing on these assets. Where is exactly the risk premium, and are you really remunerated for the additional risk of buying a vacant building? And we're starting some transaction with high prices despite some risk on the letting front.